Hello, Ben.
Hi.
Welcome to this conversation today. Um, for anyone listening to this, Ben is a part of my mastermind group, which is coming to an end very soon, and he's come on today to talk about his experience. So, first question I have for you, Ben, is why you felt you wanted to be part of a mastermind group.
So I felt that in my journey as an entrepreneur and a founder, I didn't have much outside perspective from outside our organization. So I wanted to surround myself as much as possible with people that I thought might be sharing similar experiences to me or had experience that I could draw upon because they are or have been in similar situations to me in terms of growing a business, working with co-founders, and all of the trials and tribulations associated with that. So the idea behind me joining it, was to surround myself with like-minded people that I could learn from and share experiences with.
Hmm. And that tends to be a pretty common answer, to have that peer group that is external to your business, because sometimes we can't see the wood for the trees
Mm,
when we're in the thick of
exactly.
everything. And what was your favorite part of being part of this group?
I think the just that actually sharing and listening to the experiences and challenges of others and realizing that the particular situations I faced and the challenges I faced weren't actually very specific to me. In fact, they're experienced by others in similar positions. And just knowing that there are others um, that have faced these challenges was quite reassuring to me. And I felt less alone as a
Mm,
founder
mm.
as a result.
Yeah, feeling lonely is another thing that I hear a lot of the time. And when you realize that actually pretty much nothing is unique and you have that support group, it can be really powerful.
Mm.
And what did you learn about yourself during this experience? And what did you learn from the other members of the group?
So myself, um, so I spent a long time wishing that people and the world around me were a certain way, and as a result, was quite frustrated in various situations I found myself in, and what I learned about myself was that it's much more. I spent too long feeling like that, and that actually the change that I want to see in the world around me and in the people around me starts with me, and the responsibility to make that change falls on my shoulders, and I should change the way I communicate and my actions rather than wishing the world was different,
Mm,
actually. So that was one of the major things for me. Um, and also the importance of coaching as part of communication. So how effective coaching can be in asking the right questions at the right time versus trying to sort of tell people I want certain things in a certain way, actually helping them through questioning and coaching to come to the conclusion themselves, and using that as a way to um, bring people into my world and help them understand where I'm coming from. Whereas previously I didn't realize actually how effective coaching and questioning were in sort of reaching common ground with people.
mm. And that's huge, right? You will find it very difficult to change other people or impossible if they don't want to change, but you can always change yourself. You can
Mm,
always do what you do better. And the payback for that, which people often find, is that the people that they wanted to change start to change naturally as a result of you changing how you show up?
Yeah, completely agree.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So
And then, yeah.
as head of sales and founder of your business, what tangible changes have you noticed as a result of being part of this mastermind?
So I've noticed a um my conversations with customers now are much more effective, and they are um they lead to much better outcomes in general. So what I mean by that, to be specific, is um they the way I communicate with customers now, we tend to find common ground a lot quicker than we did. And I get the impression that customers also feel like I understand them better and I understand their issues better, because now, in terms of, if we go back to the point on coaching there, the coaching and questioning is also as important with customers as it is internally in our organization. And by employing that kind of that coaching mindset and also better questioning with customers, we get to the heart of their issues and challenges faster, and I find that they open up quicker as well. Prior to this, our sales calls would follow a broad framework of questions, but they never really got to the heart of the issue, which was, in our world, the visceral pain that our prospects feel. We never really got to that level. Now we do. And as a result, our customers feel like they're understood, and they are much more open to bringing us into their world to help us understand their issues and how we can fix them. So all in all, it's led to much more effective customer conversations.
Hmm. That's really interesting. I feel like you can do sales the easy way or the hard way, and the hard way is trying to convince people in a sort of car salesman way. Not that I'm saying you ever like that, but but that is kind of the harder way of doing things. The easy way is to coach people to the point where they open up to you and they are not only very receptive, but what you're trying to say,
Mm,
but they are actually seeing without being convinced the value that you are bringing to them.
yeah. In the sales conversation, I can't convince somebody to buy from us. They have to convince themselves. They have to come to that conclusion themselves. And you really can only do that via effective questioning and coaching. And so the process of quote unquote selling somebody on a particular idea, um, with the intention of bringing that conversation to a specific desired outcome, that's actually the same internally with other people in our team as it is with a prospect who doesn't know us. It's actually the same. It feels the same to me. And as a result, it feels more natural as well. So my conversations are much more natural. I feel that the customer and myself are peers. We're on the same level, and that there's a mutual understanding there that we both want the best outcome from the call, and that the right questioning and that sort of coaching concept really helps direct the chat in that sort of direction.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And, what I noticed within the group was you were sharing this knowledge and experience with other members of the group as well, who
Mm.
were consequently changing the way that they approached conversations, again, both internally and externally.
Mm. Yeah.
So, would you recommend the mastermind, and for whom would you recommend it?
Yes, I would recommend it. For who, I would recommend it for anybody that is, first of all, given my experience, anybody looking to surround themselves with like-minded individuals and a bit of a support network of people who are in a similar position to them. Anybody that is looking to draw upon the experience and um, shared challenges that others might have, particularly founders, because it's quite stressful at times for founders, and you can feel quite lonely. I think having a peer network of other founders around you is absolutely key. As I mentioned earlier, it makes you feel less alone, but also it's reassurance that the issues you are experiencing aren't only reserved for you as an individual, but actually others as well. So I think founders, entrepreneurs, actually anybody in a team who wants an outside perspective on what they're doing from someone who has either been in that situation or is going through that situation now, I think would really benefit from it.
All right. Thank you so much for this interview today, Ben. And just to say as well, it's a privilege to have had you in the group. Thank you.
Thank you very much.